Well, good morning, folks. This is Susan. Obviously, I'm not putting on a show, or I'm not here to be looking for a boyfriend or getting attention in the wrong way. If I needed attention, then you would probably see from me a very pretty picture that has been maybe not touched up, but all made up and freshly made up. Then I take a photo. You know that there have been times that I've taken such photos for just personal reasons that I've not posted. I've taken such photos for personal reason that I've deleted because it was just to test. And you won't find such photos of me on Facebook. Also, this lighting here makes my teeth look gray, and I've shown it to you. We've walked to the light. Now, I am one to sleep with my makeup on. I know it's not good for us, but I find it that when I don't sleep with my makeup on, my face is itchy, like I itch. So there's something happening in the environment where I'm at, where I feel like my face is itching me. So I wear makeup to protect it. So with that being said, I haven't taken my makeup off since last night. But I'm just doing something here because I want y'all to know that when one day we're gonna die. It's the truth, physically, not spiritually. But one day we're gonna die physically. We know this. When I die, you're gonna find somebody else to pick on. You're gonna find another person to fry, if you will. But you need to understand that there are millions of people in far worse situations than I am, far more darker places. It is true that this is dark, but this is not my home. And but I've shown you my bedroom before. I've shown you my plants that I do keep alive. I've shown you what little I have that's still alive. And I want you to know that when I die, because I will die one day, you will find somebody else to pick on. And this is not good. This is not good that you're picking on people, picking on one another. It's not good because you want to continue what's in the world, the evil that's in the world, very disguised as fitting in. Let me show you something. Now, I haven't taken my shower today. Today's taxes day, but hold on just a second. Today is taxes day, and I have never cheated my taxes. I've never had an issue with my taxes. I've never had to file an extension. In fact, if the deadline hadn't been today, I would have done my taxes already back in February. Or by April, definitely by April. So, I want y'all to know that I don't trust people because I have every right not to trust people. I have every right because when you have something, whether it's youth or money or your children or your house or you have something, people like you. Oh, you have something going for you. You've got a boyfriend, you've got a husband, you've got kids. You have something. And when you have nothing, they don't want you. So it wasn't you that they wanted. So that's how you know who your true friends and family are. So I just want you to know that I'm not here doing drugs or hiding from anyone. I'm not here because I'm a coward. I'm here because I know better. It's either this or homeless or going from home to home. And I'm not unstable. So because I'm not unstable and I know better, I'd rather do this. Because what would be my other choice or choices? That was the reason why I ended up calling my friend James. And I said, for the love of God and Jesus. And had I not been in this house all this time with nothing but time, I wouldn't have been able to write what I have written because it was overwhelming. Have you ever held so much truth inside of you that you felt like you were choking? Have you? Well, I have. And it was overwhelming. And I even ended up sending a message to the White House years ago when I was being exploited in the state of Mississippi. Because the whole Gulf Coast, it was like an exploitation ground before my face. And this is where my father put it in me to open up a restaurant with a round building and 4 entrances or exits, with a kitchen in the middle, in the heart of the building, with CIA inside, which is clean indoor air. And the pee-pee rooms on the top level are not what you think. No. The pee-pee rooms are for past-present communication when President Eisenhower, Einstein, and Mahatma Gandhi were before me all the time on Dove Lane, the house that I purchased with my VA benefits after having served in the military and been honorably discharged. Now, at the time, I didn't speak any Portuguese. At the time, I was fluent in Spanish and English, and I could not get a job. So I ended up waiting tables. And I ended up waiting tables because I thought, well, I need to learn what it's like to have to carry a tray, and carry hot plates and carry all these drinks and the to and from. I need to know what it's like at the bottom level before I can even, understand higher levels. And I had already managed a clinic in the infertility clinic at Keesler. It was the only infertility clinic in the entire southeast region of a military hospital. It was the one clinic for the entire southeast region. We saw patients from Florida, from Georgia, people even from Texas would come. So while in that clinic, I was still a kid, according to Maria Montessori, who was always to my right. Maria Montessori was to my right, but I didn't recognize it. I didn't recognize it at the time. I was just a kid. According to Maria Montessori, you are an adult at the age of 24. And that's how old I was when I got out of the military and had become pregnant with Jacob. Now, I'm here to tell you that I've never done drugs, and does that make me a goody-goody two-shoe? I have one tattoo, and it's in a personal space because I don't go out there posting pictures of myself, even if I had a most beautiful body. I would not. Before I had Jacob, I was not one to be sharing such things with anyone. I was prudish, as my ex-husband said. "You are so prudish," he would say. When I was in high school, I would go to the pool a lot, a lot. And I was never one to really be showing off my body because I felt like I didn't have a body to show off, for one, and for two, even if I did, I was a little shy-ish. But I loved the water. I loved the water. I was like a little fish in the water. I felt very comfortable in the water since I was a child, since I was an infant. And I know that as we get older, and you have the pressure to look good in a bikini and such. But I didn't care about such things. I thought, well, if I ever have to go to the beach, I'll just put on a little cover up and a hat, and I'll just enjoy my beach. But I don't go to the beach because, for one, I have melasma and I have to stay away from the sun as much as possible. But I still go out. I like daylight. I love daylight. You've seen my apartment and you've seen the house I lived in. You see how I decorate. I like everything around light, natural light, not artificial light. I despise artificial light. I haven't taken off my makeup last night or the night before. I've been writing. I like to write because I vent, and especially when there's nobody to listen. But I know somebody will listen what I write on my wall. Maybe not now, but maybe years from now. Maybe years from now. But it's not for you to be mocking me. I'll be right back. Hold that thought. I like drinking coffee. So, I know that I'm going to die one day, and I'm not afraid because I know that this life is temporary. I've always known that. This life is temporary, and everything that we do here is not. And God has already forgiven us for all our sins. We have already been forgiven, all of us. My hair is brown, sometimes it's reddish, sometimes it's golden, sometimes I have gray hair, sometimes I don't. And not because I color it, because when I color it, I always color it the same color, once in a blue moon. But I can walk into a light and it can be one color, and I can walk into another light and it's another color. The same thing with the skin and my lips and everything else. So I want you to know who I am. And it's not here for you to be mocking my message. I'm not here to be mocked. That already happened. Okay. So there are some of you who are Jehovah's Witness, and there's nothing wrong with you because you have always desired to be a witness, the witnesses that you are. However, it was brought up to my attention by Jehovah's Witnesses several times that in a very peaceful way, I've never been harassed or mocked by a Jehovah's Witness, because that goes against their religion. But they take it so seriously to the point where I was told we're not supposed to be involved in politics. Well, I will highlight for you where in the Bible, in our Bible, it clearly states that Jesus will proclaim peace among the nations. But Jesus overcomes the world first. How are we going to overcome the world if we don't speak to the nations in their governments? That's my question. Think about it. So, I'm not here on Facebook or any other means looking for a husband, because I know that after you've been stripped naked and harassed and mishandled and raped and violated and mocked and ridiculed and stripped of everything, you only have your faith. And people don't care about faith. No, just a few of you. Just a few. Just a few. A handful of you out of all the friends and family. Because we're all family. We all really come from one root. Since I was a child, 8 years old, I've been a faithful girl. Faithful. I'm not gay, but I've never felt that somebody who was gay was a threat to me. How is someone being gay a threat to me? What is a threat to all of us is a violation of children, of sexually molesting children, or exploiting children sexually, which happens oftentimes among you, the churches. Yes, disguised as whatever it is. But mostly here in the West. And then they'll use their superior status as an adult or as a respectable adult to take advantage of such children. Well, who's going to believe you, you dirty little girl, you dirty little boy? Because you've been mishandled. Now you've been touched in the wrong way, in the wrong parts. And then they want you to carry on with the show. Because who's going to believe you? And who's going to care? And go ahead, speak. They're not going to believe you. They're going to think you're a liar. And then they're going to all know that you've been raped and that you've been molested. Go ahead. Is that what you want? Go. Go! So I'm here to tell you that there are children that cannot speak because that's how they are treated in our faces. But I like to pull the truth out of people, like the truth was pulled out of me. Yes, when I lived with Mr. and Mrs. Miller, before I lived with her, I asked her, can I come stay with you because things are not working out with Charity? She said, Susan, let DHR do what they need to do. Let DHR do what they need to do. I said, Miss Diane, they've been passing Alexander around. This is already the 5th home in 3 months. So, finally I came to stay with the Millers. And what was being said in court is that I was not cooperating with the Millers. Miss Diane wanted me to read books that she had read. I said, Miss Diane, no thank you. She couldn't comprehend that I had already written, that I had already read what I needed to read, that I had already written my song back in the early 2000s. A lot happens between 2001 and 2006, and you're stuck. But you're not. You're stuck physically because Father God sometimes wants you in Babylon, and there you will be rescued. See, Jerusalem has always been my blueprint. Always. But I've also known that in order for us to be out here in this world, you have to look, the part. You have to fit in, right? Yeah. You have to be skinny, you have to be pretty, you have to be friendly, you have to be happy, you have to be perfect. Because if you're not, you're a loser. And people are embarrassed of you. They don't want to be with a loser, no. So, I've already worked out. I'm not perfect. We know that. But I've already worked. And you know that. I'm not asking for money. I'm asking for my son. I am asking for my son. I am asking for my child to be returned to me. Not your filthy money, which will be cleansed. And we will use our money in a righteous manner. There are people out there in the streets who are hungry, while some of us live to eat, not eat to live. There's only so much room in your temple We have been forgiven, all of us. You were with me. A handful of you. We were lifted up, and we were before the Father, and you were with me in my hands. And when the truth was pulled out of me at Mr. and Mrs. Miller's house, this truth that was pulled out, I did not know what I was going to say. It was choking me inside. It was hurting and aching my heart and my throat. And it was pulled out of me, and I spoke. My father said, "Open your mouth," and I did. And he hasn't said, "Shut your mouth." Maybe you, but I don't listen to you, or do I? Oh yes, I listen, but I don't answer you, do I? Oh yes, I do answer. I do answer you, and I listen to you, because I listen to your needs. Believe in me. So somebody has to pay for the sin of the world. It is not going to be my son. No. It's not going to be our children. I am here. I fear not man. I know that I can be shot dead anytime. In the head, in the heart. We must be ready to go anytime. These things happen every day to any one of you, rich or poor. And I have no gun. I don't like guns. And I'm not threatening anyone. These things happen because people with guns do release and relieve themselves this way because they don't know God. And this is the same for people who go to war with weapons of mass destruction and bombs, and people who test radiation on others. Oh yes, let us test radiation and see what happens with those people over there, because they're nobody. I'm here to tell you that by the grace of God, and His most mercy, I haven't lost my sanity. And yes, I did join the gym when I came here to Montgomery because I wanted to bring my friend James. Because I don't want my friend James in a cave, in a dark cave. But my friend James is very different with me, and when his family comes, he's very different. He's very different. So my friend James is not disabled. No. My friend James is not on drugs. No. My friend James is not a drunk. No. My friend James is sober and alert, and he's extremely intelligent. He has worked for the state, and he does. He works. He makes money. I'm just a housekeeper or a house guest who's overstayed her welcome, or have I? Well, it's either this or homeless. And I am fighting for the rights of the homeless people, because being a homeless veteran is no joke. And this is to President Obama and Biden and all. Our hope diamond makes a lot of money. What is all that hope money for, if not to return back to where that hope diamond came from? The Ganges is supposed to be clean, to heal, and their water is our water, and their diamond is our diamond. So let us give back some hope that we have been given. I will not be quiet. I have been ordered to give this message, and I will deliver. I fear no man and no evil. And I am the mother of that child, Alexander, who was taken from me based on allegations that I'm potentially suicidal. If you want to kill me, you can kill me. But the Spirit of truth never dies, and it never will. It has been here since the beginning, before you were created. So let us recognize where we come from. I am not a drug addict, but I feel bad that we're not helping drug addicts. I am not homeless. I have a home. But you don't recognize my home. You violate my home. You rape my home. You mock my home. You experiment on my home. In my home. In my face. With your psychology and your science, and even your math, with your taxes. If I file my taxes today, I will be lying, because I will be admitting that I worked after I filed for unemployment. So I'm going to file it just as it is said, according to your books. But do not call me a thief or a liar who doesn't know how to keep track of time and, yes, even money. which will be cleaned, because our money will be used for the children of God, for our public school systems, for our streets, for our water, for the homeless and the poor and the disabled and the elderly and the mentally and the physically handicapped. So let us give some hope that we have been given. Thank you.